Okay, here at Phillip Island Classic 2024 with Gavin King, driver of this magnificent Mustang. So Gavin, what turned you into Group N? What attracted you to Group N?
Bruce, a few years ago I got offered this car, which is a car from the day. It's an ex-Bob Jane car. It was part of Bob Jane Racing. He drove it for a year, then he put John Harvey in it for a year, and then Chris Brower after that. So it was a wreck. It took me 4 years to rebuild it. So it's a C of D car, and I'm an invited car this weekend in Group N. And the amount of people that have come up and just said it's fantastic, and I remember seeing the car in the day, and it just gives me a big thrill. So this car is the only big block Mustang to ever race in Australia. It runs a 390 big block, so 6.3 litre, so it's big in capacity. But big in capacity, it's a massively huge physical engine, physically a big engine, very heavy, torquey motor, but not much power, like 500, something like that. So I'm giving away a lot there, and I'm giving away 100 kilos in the front of the car. So, well, it sounds great and all of that, but for me, just being the current custodian of this car and presenting it exactly how Bob Jane raced it at Bathurst at the improved production meeting in '67, that's what it's all about for me. To be able to get there and out here and have some fun in it is just a bonus.
From the start, the power of the Mustang took Jane into the lead. Through Forest Elbow for the first time, Jane led Stewart with Bartlett in third. Jane leads at Murray's with Bartlett in second and Laurie Stewart in third. Jane leads Bartlett through the Dipper. Harried by the Alpha, Bob Jane ran out of brakes on lap 4 at Murray's. Bob Jane had a best lap of 2 minutes 40, 4 seconds outside Ian Pete Gagan's record. There was no holding Bob Jane this time, and he was 4 seconds ahead when the flag fell.
So you've been a fan of the improved production era, the V-Classic era in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, seeing them grow big tyres, flares, fuel-injected engines, and just the guys back in that day in the late 60s and 70s having that scope and that, that engineering ability to engineer a car outside of touring car racing was pretty thrilling. Obviously, I wasn't even born when I was born in '71, so I wasn't even born then, but looking back at all the YouTube videos and of what they did back in the day and all those legends of the day, would have been a fantastic era to be a part of and a fantastic time to be alive.
Yeah, so the Chris Brower incident, which has been captured on film,
Yes.
was a very nasty incident.
It's Gagan who gets the break as they race off. Here's trouble. There, that looks bad. It's Chris Brown. Chris Brown, and we'll let you know as soon as possible if he's okay.
So did you buy the car as a wreck and restore it?
So the car got repaired after that. The car then went down to South Australia and got raced in Speedway. So 3 or 4 years down there with a very colourful guy, Dale Mulga-Button, and I've been down and met him, and he was a colourful guy, let's say that, and he certainly gave the old thing plenty. So it was restored in a way for as much as it needed to be for Speedway. 4 years of Speedway, that really saw it off then. That was the end of it then, and then it sort of languished. It got rusty, the good bits had been taken off it, but what we got was sort of salvageable, enough of it. Firewall, skirts, rails, tunnels, all that sort of stuff. And then we built it up from there and presented it with the 390. It's got 2 logbooks, 390 and small block. I decided to go 390 just because it's different, like a challenge. Yeah, it took me 4 years. I've got a restoration company, so I'm used to restoring cars and nothing's too big a challenge, but it was a challenge, and researching all of the detail of the car was also very rewarding to try to present the car exactly how it was. So aside from safety, like roll cage for instance, in '67 at Bathurst had no roll cage in it then, which is pretty amazing.
Wow.
So anything safety got the nod, but in terms of performance improvements, didn't get the nod. It was how it was in '67. So yeah.
It's amazing. So do you intend to race it, or is it?
So it's an invitational car only, so if they'll keep having me, I'd love to keep coming. but not all the time. You know, I want to preserve it like this. Like, we actually showed the car at Motor Classica in a concourse, so that was the standard that I was after. But it goes as well. So maybe once or twice a year, get it on the track.
Yeah.
Keep the wheels moving. But anything more than that, no. I'll just try and keep it pristine. Brad Tilley and Jamie Tilley have been mates of mine. Well, Brad's been mate of mine for 35 years. He did the engineering on this car, and you know, I've been along to the track with them for the last 30 odd years, and it's pretty cool. Makes all the right noises. I love it.